Okay, by show of hands, how many of you guys have been overseas? What do you think would have made that process more easier?
Well,
Just somebody do it all.
Eliminate customs.
There you go.
Our business would make it more easier because you could come and you can learn about all the different features you want to learn about the place you want to go to see.
okay, so yeah, our business is basically a museum that uses digital and virtual 21st century technology to showcase all 6 continents. We didn't include Antarctica because there's not a lot there. So we did the 6 continents, and what it's going to do is you can go in there and you can use this interactive technology to see things like culture, geography, major cities, and also when you're in there there's going to be a country of the month, so it's not the same thing all the time and it's switching around. Another focal point of our business is our Continental Cafe, which is going to be in the center, and when you go in there you're going to be able to choose from traditional food from that country or continent, whichever one they're specializing in. And so it's just this opportunity for you to go and look at all the different things from the world.
And our objective is to educate people of all ages, but at the same time we want to make more local jobs for people, and we wanted to make Fort Wayne kind of a hot spot. Not a lot of people know where Fort Wayne is or what Fort Wayne basically is, so we want to attract more tourists, and we want to make Fort Wayne a more vibrant city, make it more diverse in cultures. And our purpose of this business is to get people of all ages to come and learn about different cultures and countries, learn about geographical points and cities and food and history of different places.
okay, our demographics for our area code where our building will be located is 46805, and the average household income is $34,000, and the average household size is 3 people.
Okay, so our location is a plot of land on North Clinton Street. It's near Science Central. Now, this land isn't currently up for sale, but we want to make a proposal so we can build our museum there. It's a great spot because there's plenty of space for us to build our building, and there's plenty of space for us to expand on it. It's a centrally located area, so people from the south side of town and people from the north side of town will be able to travel there and it'll be convenient. It's also centrally located in the school system so that they can take field trips there. It's a busy road, so people driving down it will see it and they'll spread the word about it. And people going to Science Central will hopefully, after going there, or they'll come another time, will see our building and want to come and learn about the cultures of the world. And then this is basically a top-down view of the skeleton of our building, so it's easier to explain this way. So it's split up into the six continents we used. And so inside the continents, there'll basically be these interactive touch screens on podiums, and you can go to them and like different tabs and stuff, and it will go up onto a screen. And on these tabs, you can learn about things like the culture and the history and cool geographical points and things about the countries, like the government and the religion. And so, say you're in Asia, you can go to the podium and click on the Himalayas and learn about them and how they're one of the biggest set of mountains in the world. And then here we have the Continental Cafe, which will, like she said, will serve traditional cuisine from the different continents. And then what we're thinking is inside the hallways is to actually have basically glass walls and then a regular wall on the outside of that, and in between is fake scenery from the country and taxidermied animals, so set up like a museum. And then so if you're on the way to Australia, you can see like koalas and kangaroos and stuff like that.
Okay, our budget, the sales revenue estimate is $5 million. Our building costs $13 million. Our gross profit is around $7 million, and our main equipment, like the TVs and stuff that we're gonna have in there, is $57,000. And we're a non-for-profit as well, so and we based our budget around the field museum. To help raise money, we decided to do a black tie event for the adults, so that's where they can dress up and leave their kids at home basically and have fun at the museum and eat a nice dinner. And for the kids, since it's a museum for kids too, we want to have a carnival Halloween party for them.
Okay, so some of the things we used for marketing and created to get our business idea out there and known was we made an Instagram, which you can faintly see right here. Our Facebook page, do we have a few views? Our website, and if you guys want me to show you that, I can. And the flyer and our commercial, which we should probably show.
Well, we could show that at the
Or not.
end. I don't want to. Okay. And our logistics, if you're an adult, it would be $20. Kids are 16 and senior citizens are 18. Monday through Thursday, we're open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Friday through Saturday is 10 a.m. through 9 p.m. We're closed on all holidays, and on Sunday we're closed too.
Okay, so some of the things this business is going to do for Fort Wayne is one of the major things is it's going to create tolerance. As people are learning more about the other cultures of the world, they're going to, okay, yeah, so this is actually pretty cool. It's going to make local jobs, so that's a good opportunity. Fort Wayne, I know we've been called boring, so it's going to make us more vibrant, new, and exciting since this is something that hasn't been done in other places. And it's just going to educate people more and make us a more smart city. So I guess this ties in with the last side. The benefits are, of course, spreading culture. Another thing would be tourism, because people around Fort Wayne are going to want to come in and see this new thing that hasn't been done other places. It's going to inspire our locals to go out and travel and tour other places and, once again, create jobs.
Okay, our main competitors are JA, Science Central, and the Art Museum. JA is a competitor because they target teaching children, but their weakness to us basically is that they work only with schools. So to actually go to one of their places, you have to be with a school. Science Central targets everyone because it's fun for everyone, but with age, they become less exciting to people, so we're creating a place that will be new and exciting so that people want to come to it. And the Art Museum, it does focus on targeting everyone, but mostly it brings in adults, so that's where we come in and we bring in the kids.
Oh yeah, we should show the video. Is there a sound cord?
Is your volume on?
Yeah.
Turn it up all the way.
Can you have lights in here that we can do?
Don't be like her, clicking through tabs and tabs of information. Come to Continental Drift and learn about the world using 21st century technology for under $20. It's conveniently located across from Science Central on North Clinton Street. See the world in a day.
So short.
Nice.
Okay, well, that's, yeah, you didn't want to see that, those were here. But, yeah, do you guys have any questions?
So the flyer is cool. I like this. Definitely some like spacing issues and stuff here, but it says $21 and then your presentation said $20. And then your commercial said under $20.
That must have just been a bad communication.
Yeah.
Kind of just in that ballpark.
Oh, that's fine.
We'd
I
have
mean, it's the difference
Yeah.
between $1, but just making sure you're consistent.
Looking at your flyer, I would have never known what it was. I like the flyer, but if you could, on there somewhere like education or something like that, or museum or something like that, I think it might help it a little bit. I didn't know if we were going to like a buffet or like that kind of thing. I had no idea what it was. So
She was going on.
I know, I was like, that's cool.
Either, yeah.
What, as far as your costs, what is it similar to Science Central? Like I look at it and I think, like, if I was just going by myself, like $20 isn't bad. But like if I was gonna take my family and it was like me and my husband and if we had kids and like that got expensive like really fast. And so I'm not sure how that compares to like Science
Another
Central.
thing we were looking into that we probably should have added were family packs for if you were going to do that, because that would be obviously something common, but that wasn't included.
So
Okay.
similar to how the zoo does with memberships and things like that.
Okay, that would be a good idea. I just think if you're wanting a family atmosphere, that's gonna, I'm not gonna be able to afford to come,
That's
kind of a
what,
thing.
that's
so.
what we're looking into right now, seeing how we're gonna figure that out and make people wanna come use the memberships.
I think it's a really cool idea, and it sounds like it would be really fun to go to. I would love it. I love the educational aspect of it, and to visit other countries by just staying in Fort Wayne. It's a really cool idea. I just wonder how the main equipment could be so low in cost. Like I think it was $57,000 for the main equipment. I wasn't sure how you could keep it that low. I guess, but
Something we were looking into was actually if we wanted to go to a local, like Fort Wayne business that does, and you could go, hey, could you cut half the price on this equipment and we will sponsor your business on the back of all the technology. So that was kind of something we were looking into a little bit.
The actual like setups with the touch screens on the podiums and the screens, those would probably have to be more looked into and exacted, because basically we base them off of things that were similar. So prices for things that would be like a touchscreen tablet and a television about the size we were looking for.
I think the hardest challenge was definitely because we want this to be a new 21st century technology thing, and making that not very expensive was really
hard.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we added up how much we'd be making yearly, it's about our third year we'd start making money.
I love the idea. I would definitely go. I would definitely take my kids. Couple and I'll just do real quick bullet points with you guys. The numbers were off. If you go back and look at your numbers, you'll see, I think your gross revenue or your net profit exceeded your revenue, which that can't be. Memberships, you guys already touched on. I think about maybe having overnights for the classes and do the glass ceiling all the way around, so that
Inside the hallways?
well, you know how you mentioned you're gonna have glass? Maybe extend that to the ceiling so it's open?
Yeah, I meant to say that actually.
Okay.
Basically, you have the clear walls on the side and it domes up,
Okay,
so that you can have like fake, maybe even birds.
and then maybe see if you can partner up with Science Central and do like a passport where they visit all the different, like Conservatory, Science Central,
I don't
so
think we thought about that.
so that you know, so if the classes are downtown, they might as well make it a day trip and do all of them
So
downtown.
like a collaboration. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's cool. I should forgot to write some paper. I hope I don't forget about that.
And then your advertising, kind of to get people to think about visiting other worlds, maybe use a passport on your advertising somewhere to kind of lend itself to travel. Because I get it that, you know, it's the world that you want to discover, but maybe a passport image would get people thinking travel. I don't know. I mean, it definitely needs tweaked, but I like the graphic.
Really?
The graphics pretty.
One thing I think you're gonna have to really think about too, like with Fort Wayne, since we don't have, I mean, we do have an international airport, but we don't have an international airport because they don't fly anywhere. It's, like, I could definitely see this in like a big city to where like it's right by the airport, like people are getting ready to get on a plane and go overseas. So I think that's one challenge you guys might have, is the fact that our little airport, like most likely people aren't boarding it to go overseas. You know what I mean? So like the idea behind the museum is great, but if you're trying to kind of revolve it around somebody like, I'm getting ready to go travel to this place and now I want to go research it, that might not be the best scenario, I guess. More so of like, let's just learn about the world type of a thing. So, but I could definitely see it like outside of Indianapolis International Airport, like where I'm gonna get on a plane and go to Europe, kind of a thing. So.
I think we actually thought about putting it next to the airport, but
Yeah, but then we
J-Rob
realized
said there was one
Nobody
business.
comes
Yeah.
to the airport except for business people.
Exactly.
I mean, you're right. I would probably sit at home and Google the information if I was traveling. But this is definitely like something hands-on I would do with my family.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually love the idea.
Yeah.
Was your restaurant going to have, so it was going to feature a country each month, the food of that country each month?
Yeah, so it's so that our museum, we are doing the country of the month. So if you go 1 year and then you want to come back, but you don't want to see the same things, you can go and you can see this country that's going to be changing month.
Okay.
And then it'll do that in the cafeteria too.
Okay.
I think you've left it open and wide enough to where it's not going to get boring because it's always changing. That's a great idea because there's a lot out there to be exposed, you know.
It might be kind of cool too to do even like a portion of like a current events, like things that are happening in that part of the world. You know, because if I'm traveling overseas, like I want to know if something's going on that I need to be
In
aware
Paris.
of. Yeah, in Paris, or, you know, I mean, there's crazy stuff going on all over, but even good things that are
Right.
happening, like maybe a big festival that's coming up, and maybe I can try and plan my vacation around that if I want to see that. So that might be something you want to put within your, you know, your little sections. It's just like
Totally.
current event type
Yeah,
thing.
I thought about that, but then because it was like I was doing this thing on Afghanistan, and they had like their weird little things they did, but a lot of them were kind of like violent. Like there was kite fighting and there was shoe throwing.
Well, there's, you can focus on like the Chinese New Year because it's different than ours, and
Mhm.
they, you know,
Have a
there's
little
happy thoughts out there.
There are
I mean, it would be cool to educate, you know, Fort Wayne on social issues too. So like
Yes.
you could focus on like the Syrian refugees and things like that. Like I would love to go to a place and actually learn about that, and you know, can be connected with, you know, anyone in the area who might have more information or experts and stuff like that. Would be really cool.
Yeah, and with what she said, you could actually have the software, like you said, type in whatever location you want. You could also ask the age range of the person that's using it, so it kind of like caters it to, because
Okay.
what I want to know about that area may not be the same thing as my 10-year-old son wants to know about the area,
Mhm.
so.
And I will say this, that the way people in Fort Wayne love to go out to eat, that if the restaurant, if it was available to people no matter what, that would, I
That's
don't
what
know
I
if
was thinking.
you, have you thought about that?
Yeah, when I was thinking about the cafe, I wasn't sure if you were gonna have like catering, or we're gonna like actually just like bring in people,
Yeah.
or it was like kind of
Okay.
tricky to
Not
We
figure
sure
out.
about
actually found that on the cafe, the average price per plate is like $9, because it is traditional, not.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't a bad, I mean.
And if
It's
they
not bad.
did come in to
Food
see the
and
cafe alone, like that's still good promotional use, just for the
Yeah.
actual museum.
Right.
Especially if it's downtown.
Yeah, and it's you can't really find very much like authentic, you know, food.
Yeah.
So that'd be awesome.
I think you guys had really good presentation skills too. Like you guys all spoke very clearly and loud enough, and you had really good eye contact. You really didn't read from the slides, which is good. You just kind of used it as a base. So good job on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, good job, guys.
Thank you.